4th down and 6. Olbridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look, corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, makes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move, a shot, and he scores!
Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions. Live from Great Kills Little League in Staten Island, New York, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into continued coverage of the 2025 New York State Little League Baseball Championship. In our 11th game of pool play, we will decide the winner of the American pool as Port Washington Little League battles White Plains Little League. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, once again joined by my broadcast partner, Nicholas Bavona. And Nick, we knew yesterday that this game would decide the winner of the American pool once each of these teams moved to 2-0 in pool play. The winner of this game takes on St. James Smithtown in the semifinal tomorrow at 9 a.m. The loser will advance, but will face South Shore in the later game at 11:30.
Yeah, Joe, let's talk about how these two teams have gotten to this part of pool play here today, with, of course, the winner moving on to take on St. James Smithtown, the loser, as you mentioned, taking on South Shore. Let's start off with White Plains and what they've done so far. Game 1 against Union Endicott. Scoreless game throughout that one, going into the 5th. White Plains gets their first and only run of that game on an error over at third base on a pickoff attempt. White Plains goes on to win that game 1-0. And their second game of pool play, White Plains, great dominant pitching once again, 5-1 victory. Or I should say, White Plains had that in their first matchup. Second game was 5-1. White Plains has been doing great pitching in this one so far, Joe. For Port Washington, we saw what happened against Saugerties, an all-time classic in their last matchup, a 10-9 walk-off victory. They were trailing by 3. They took a 5-3 lead. They then trailed by 4 after giving up 6 in the 6th, 5 in the 6th inning to walk it off 10-9. They, of course, won their first game as well by a run. Port Washington's won both their games by a run. White Plains has won by 1 and has won by 4. They're both 2-0, and now they're here today to decide which team will be 3-0.
Well, Nick, you touched on it already. White Plains, what has really stood out to me, pitching and defense. They have not been lighting up the scoreboard. You mentioned a 1-0 win and a 5-1 win, but their pitching and their defense has been phenomenal. No team has allowed fewer runs in pool play to this point than this White Plains squad. Meanwhile, Port Washington was having a tough time offensively until late in that game yesterday or 2 days ago once again. When both teams erupted late, we'll see if they can pick up right where they left off here on this final day of pool play. Christopher Walsh delivers his first pitch to William Kolb. That is in for a called strike, and we are underway from Great Kills.
I mistakenly misspoke. White Plains beat Union Endicott 5-1. They beat Saugerties 1-0.
There's a bouncer to the right side, played cleanly at second base, and the throw from Feldman is in time to retire Kolb for the game's first out.
We saw Walsh participate yesterday, I believe, in the Golden Arm competition. He gets to start here today for White Plains, and a game that, as you mentioned, will decide this part of the bracket, and we'll get St. James Smithtown tomorrow. Busy day yesterday for White Plains in the skills competition.
And there's a grounder off the bat of Jonathan Band, but that is a foul ball. Band behind 0-1. We mentioned it, or perhaps maybe we didn't. It was a busy day. Liam Sulivera, the winner of the Golden Arm. Leo Carroll, the winner of the Roadrunner competition.
And we'll talk about his time a little bit later on when he comes up to the plate. But something you and I have definitely not seen covering the skills competition now for our third time here on PDF.
He posted a sub-10 in the Roadrunner competition. They clocked him at what, 9.8?
9.8.
Wow.
And then his second time was 10.8.
It's hard to believe he dropped off by a full second. And there's a
Drilled.
line drive shot by Ban into the gap for an extra base hit. That keeps rolling all the way onto the warning track, and Ban will slide into second base safely with a one-out double.
Well, it didn't look like initially off the bat that was going to get extra bases. It was hardly hit into center, or left center, I should say. But that one just rolls past the left end center fielder, got all the way towards the fence, and Ban gets himself a one-out double.
First base runner of the game for Port Washington, and they will send Drew Theo Harris to the plate. Very quickly, while we have a break in the action, we'll also get you the rest of their lineup. It was Kolb, Ban, Theo Harris, 1, 2, 3, followed by Jack Stone, Cal Krifcher, Tyler Pierce, Brandon Kine, Kevin O'Flanagan, Jack Lafferty, Christopher Tancredi, Brandon Block, and Xavi Lago.
And Joe, we'll talk about it in just a moment after this first pitch. The strategy we were speaking upon that last game, and that's got some potential.
That was a well-struck ball to right center, but waiting there and circling underneath it to make the catch was Jack Mayer. 2 gone.
Now, the strategy we were talking about that last game is how many arms do you realistically use today in this game and try to save them for tomorrow's matchup depending on who you're facing. We'll have to see what these two coaching staffs will do in this one.
Depending on what my pitching hierarchy looks like, Nick, there's a chance I don't let anybody go over 20 pitches, knowing I'm advancing. But we'll see how these managers elect to utilize their pitching. Walsh in this first inning has thrown just 7. He faces Jack Stone. Jack Stone, extra hitter and cleanup hitter for Port Washington. And he hits one sharply through the right side, base hit. Ban turning around third, but he stumbles and will be forced to head back.
Fortunate break right there for White Plains, Joe. That could have brought home a run.
I thought for sure Ban was going to score. I think they put the stop sign up, and he wasn't quite ready for it. Second hit of the inning for Port Washington. And now Cal Krifcher will come to the plate. And here goes the runner to second, trying to draw a throw, but to no avail. Leo Carroll lets him go. Jack Stone moves into scoring position. Still 2 outs in the inning. A 0-1 count on Krifcher. And he takes on the outside corner 0-2.
A quick second-hand look at that last hit. As you mentioned, now it's 0-2.
And that's bounced to the left of the pitcher Walsh. He flips to first in time, and that will do it for Port Washington in the top half of the first inning. They strand a pair in scoring position following 2 base hits. We head to the bottom half of inning number 1. No score.
Awards and Trophy Center is proud to sponsor this week's New York State Little League Championship. Located at 1600 Highland Boulevard on Staten Island, we pride ourselves in not only building trophies, but building relationships as we service our community and treat you like family. Your event and its achievements deserve the best. That's why Country Awards and Trophy Center is ready to work with all of our clients to make your event a memorable one, with awards, trophies, and gifts that make a lasting impression. Come see why we love our customers and they love us. Visit us today.
State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
Home first inning about to get underway from Great Kills Little League in a scoreless ball game between Port Washington and White Plains. And Nick, you mentioned that White Plains may have caught a bit of a break as Jonathan Band rounded third base. We thought he might score on that second hit of the inning by Jack Stone, but it appears he just lost his footing.
Yeah, he did going around that third base bag. He slid. Then he waited a second because he saw where the ball was on the field, but he was not going to be able to go after he stumbled down that third base line. So a huge break right there caught by White Plains that could have been trailing by one going into the bottom half of the first. Instead, it's a scoreless game, and they come to bat for the first time today.
Starting lineup for White Plains, leading off center fielder Jack Mayer, followed by third baseman Jake Van Thal, shortstop Nick Napolitano, catcher Leo Carroll, extra hitter Fraylin Cruz, left fielder Liam Sulivera, first baseman Johnny Breeze, extra hitter Nico Sucherbina, right fielder Max Goldberg, pitcher Christopher Walsh, extra hitter Jack Delanoy, and second baseman Max Feldman. Pitcher they will face is right-hander Kevin O'Flanagan. Mayer into the box.
There go my papers, Joe.
Hopefully they didn't go onto the field.
No, they fell right.
Oh, they're going on the field now.
Yeah, go on the field. All right. nothing I can do about it now.
0-1 the count here on Mayer. That's fouled back, 0-2.
They're more than likely my rosters. Good thing I have the lineup card for today.
You need to invest in
a
notebook.
I had it in the notebook for a second, but I forgot I left it over to my left.
You need one like me with the plastic sleeves.
Yeah. This has somewhat of a sleeve, but wasn't paying attention for a second. So it happens when you try to do engineering and then not realizing where your papers are.
Count 1-2 on Mayer. And there's a big swing and a miss for strike three as O'Flanagan powered that fastball right by him.
I think O'Flanagan has his favorite pitcher, Joe, with him being a pitcher at number 17.
Should I be ashamed that I don't know who that is?
Ohtani?
Okay. If anyone should have known that, it's me. But he hasn't pitched in so long.
He recently has been.
He did return this year, but
Yeah.
I'm speaking about the last year and a half or so. At the plate now, Jake Van Thal. And he bounces one to the right side, played on a hop at second, and Van Thal is retired for the second out.
Quick start to the inning right there for O'Flanagan. He's gotten the first two outs in just 5 pitches.
Nick Napolitano will be the batter. Had a nice outing on the mound earlier in the week. Comes to the plate here with the bases empty and 2 outs in the home first inning. And O'Flanagan's first pitch is fouled back, 0-1.
I was wondering if our public address announcer was going to do a Derek Jeter type of announcement with number 2 shortstop, number 2. That's how Derek Jeter used to be announced by the great Bob Shepard.
0-1. Straight to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You mentioned Napolitano, great pitching performance earlier in this tournament. Gets the start at short today.
The 1-1. Misses low, 2-1. 2-1. Hit hard, straight into the glove of the shortstop. Leaping from his shortstop position, I have number 6. Who was playing short, Nick? Cal Crifter.
Yep.
Okay, that was an 8, not a 6. I was about to say my lineup card could be incorrect, but instead it is my eyesight failing me. That will do it for the first inning. It's a 1-2-3 first inning on the bump for Kevin O'Flanagan. Still no score between Port Washington and White Plains.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
NYS Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
And we are back for the top half of the second inning. Still no score between Port Washington and White Plains. The visitors will send 6, 7, and 8 to the plate. Pierce, Kine, and O'Flanagan. And Nick, the top two-thirds of that trio played a huge role in the closing moments of the win 2 days ago.
Yeah, what feels like almost a week ago. That was just 2 days ago, and what a game.
It feels like yesterday if you've been listening to us all day.
Well, is it us or you?
Oh, it was definitely you before.
Yeah, you're right. But nonetheless, Joe, yeah, I mean, the resilience of this poor Washington team to fight back in that game. I mentioned the 3-run deficit. They took the lead for the first time. They then trailed by 4, and then they got 5 runs in that last half inning to walk it off and win. It started with this bottom half of the order.
It's called strike to Tyler Pierce. He's behind 0-1.
Both pitchers, made quick work in the first inning.
And that one is sliced out towards shallow left, where it is caught on the move by Sulivera.
Golden arm making a nice play with his glove right there.
Didn't quite need to dive and was able to make that catch while remaining on his feet. 1 away in the top half of the second. Brandon Kine, the batter now. He had the game-winning hit a couple of days ago. And that's bounced toward the middle. With time is the second baseman, Feldman. He throws out Kine for out number 2.
It's been an aggressive approach to the plate so far for both of these teams. Another quick out right there. 2 gone in the inning.
Well, if these managers wanted to keep their pitchers under 20 pitches each, this is the way you do it. A very aggressive pair of lineups. Was there a truce? Let's come out swinging.
I was going to say maybe the strategy for the coaches in this one was if you see something good first or second pitch, swing at it. Don't wait.
The 0-1 hit sharply on the ground, right to second. And that is a lightning quick top half of the second inning.
I believe 4 pitches, Joe, maybe?
1, 2, 3 goes Port Washington, and that very well may have been a 4 or 5 pitch inning. Either way, it is a scoreless inning up on the board for the starting pitcher, Christopher Walsh. His team comes to bat when we come back.
To sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
Staten Island Academy is the only pre-K through 12 independent school on Staten Island. And it really is designed for students to go through the entire educational experience in one setting.
What the Academy seeks to do is take every student to accelerate their gifts and their strengths and to find those gifts and strengths that are yet unknown.
I think the community is something that you can't match anywhere else. It just makes you feel comfortable doing what you like to do every single day.
Home half of inning number 2 from Great Kills Little League. Still no score between Port Washington and White Plains in a battle to see who the victor will be in the American pool. The winner of this game moves to 3-0 and earns a matchup with St. James Smithtown Little League tomorrow. That game at 9 a.m. The loser also moves on, but they will face South Shore at 11:30.
And it's been 2 quick starts so far in this inning. We've seen already a quick start on the other side of the hill for Christopher Walsh, Joe, and now Kevin O'Flanagan after a 9-pitch first inning comes out here in the second.
Just 25 total pitches thrown between the two teams thus far. Heading to the plate for White Plains, 4, 5, and 6, Carol Cruz Sulivera.
Of course, won the Roadrunner competition, as we mentioned earlier on.
Not only did Carroll win it, he won it with a great time, and he is a catcher.
And he had the top 2 times.
That is also true.
His 10.8 also would have won the competition.
He's ahead 1-0 here. And takes low and outside, ball 2.
Yeah, we've seen him pitch. Now he's catching here today. And he's been a great runner as well. He's just been doing it all for this White Plains team.
That pitch on the inside corner, 2-1. Well, if the hitters did have a truce to come out and be aggressive, Carroll didn't get the memo.
Carroll said, I'm going to think about it.
There's a chopper, left side, and it gets through Ben into left field. Carroll didn't realize it right away. If anyone could have turned that into another base, it was him.
Yeah.
I think that's going to go down as a hit. It took a wicked hop and went right over Ben's head.
Yeah, I don't think you really blame Ben on that play. As you mentioned, just a weird hop. And I think even if played on the hop, it would have been a close play at first base.
That pitch taken low by left-hander Fraylin Cruz. Cruz, extra hitter, batting in the 5 spot. The 1-0. Down and in, ball 2. Look at that secondary lead for Carroll.
Wonder what he's trying to think of right now.
He got a long way off of first base as that ball was returned to the pitcher. And Cruz looks at a strike, 2-1. That pitch taken high. It's now 3-1. That's it toward the middle and through for a base hit. Over to second goes Carroll. On first with a single is Cruz. And just like that, White Plains has a pair on.
Well, Joe, we saw yesterday Cruz took part in the home run derby. He was mere inches away from having a home run in that competition, but has a good bat. He's had a couple of bats here so far this week and gets another big hit right there. First and second, nobody out for White Plains.
There's a called strike on Liam Sulavera, the golden arm. We have the Roadrunner on second, the number 5 hitter Fraylin Cruz at first, and the golden arm at the plate here. Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a swing and a miss, 1-2.
Took a big hack at that one. So a fastball chest high. He was trying to make some noise with one swing.
That one fouled back. It remains 1-2 on the White Plains left fielder. Pitch from O'Flanagan. Bounces to the backstop. There goes Carroll. Cruz stays put. And now White Plains has runners on the corners and nobody out.
Yeah, not going to have a chance to get Carroll on that play over third. So now first and third. Still nobody out. 2-2 count.
That one fouled back by Sulavera. He stays alive. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's hit pretty well deep to left center, and that will land on the warning track. It rolls to the wall. In to score is Carroll. Cruz will stop at third, and it's an RBI double for Liam Sulavera.
Well, Joe, earlier in the at-bat, I mentioned that he took a big swing, was trying to do something at this at-bat to make some noise. He brought the noise right there with that one swing, crushing into left center field. RBI double, 1-0 White Plains.
3 straight hits for the home team, as they've jumped out to a 1-run lead here in the bottom half of the second inning. Now Johnny Breeze will be the batter, and Breeze takes out of the zone, ball 1. The 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. Breeze calls time, stepped out for a practice cut ahead of the 1-1. And that misses down and away. .28 pitches now for O'Flanagan. That one swung on and missed by Breeze. 2-2. This would be a big punch out for O'Flanagan if he could get it. And he does. Breeze swings and misses for strike 3.
Certainly a big strikeout right there. Holds the runners at second and third. One gone in the inning. We mentioned to Joe going into the inning. He started with 9 pitches. He's now at 30. So they've made him work so far in this inning.
Nico Sucherbina, the batter. And that one off the glove of the catcher into the backstop, but no thoughts of trying to advance from Cruz over at third. Three hits in the inning already for White Plains. Breeze the first out via strikeout moments ago. And Sucherbina looks at a strike. Count even at 1. Port Washington with the infield in here, not conceding a run. Trailing by 1 with first base open. That's fouled away. What do you think about the aggressive defense early, Nick? A ground ball through the infield probably scores 2. Or
Did you
pick up another big strikeout. So the defense does not have to factor in during either of the last 2 at-bats. Breeze and Sucherbina both strike out, and now it will be left to Max Goldberg.
How big would it be if he can get out of the jam after having second and third, nobody out? I think they're having a conversation maybe about his pitch count. He's at 34 right now.
Time called for a moment by the Port Washington dugout. They were checking pitch count because O'Flanagan's at 34. They wanted to confirm. So they're not going to let him go past 35, Nick. This will be his final batter, as that's taken low and inside by Goldberg, 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1. The 1-1. In for a strike, 1 and 2. And that's blooped into shallow right field. Base hit. It rolls all the way into the outfield corner beyond the view of our camera, but that will score a pair. It's a 2-out, 2 RBI double for Max Goldberg. And White Plains goes in front, 3-0.
Well, Max Goldberg saw that pitch, Joe. Goes the opposite way on it. He's had a couple big hits as well this tournament. A huge one right there to put his team up 3 runs.
Three runs home in the inning, and now Christopher Walsh with a chance to help his own cause. Comes to bat here with a man in scoring position. Still 2 outs. And Nick, I'm kind of surprised O'Flanagan was left in the game. They appeared to check his pitch count.
I thought for sure that was the reason why, and that was definitely the reason why.
I thought that's what they were doing.
Yeah, they're keeping him in.
Maybe the 3-run deficit changed things. That's fouled off. Walsh quickly in a 2-strike hole. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Walsh, the third strikeout victim of the inning, as O'Flanagan does ultimately strike out the side, but his team will enter the third trailing 3-0.
This tournament would not be possible without the great support of the Staten Island Advance. Not only does the Staten Island Advance have full coverage of the tournament, but we are committed to covering Island youth sports year-round and all news close to home. Pick up the paper today and look for great subscriber deals now for our loyal readership. Visit us online at silive.com for news and photos of this week's tournament and all the breaking news on Staten Island, the nation, and the world. The news of Staten Island is the Staten Island Advance and silive.com.
And we are back for the top half of the third inning. First pitch from Christopher Walsh, high and outside, ball 1. Jack Lafferty, the batter. He had a nice showing in the Golden Arm competition yesterday. That's in for a called strike.
Lafferty, of course, Joe, had one of the more memorable throws. Of course, obviously in...
There's a bouncer, foul ball.
Of course, obviously in the Golden Arm competition, he had some good throws. But what about the throw he made on day 1 of pool play that stopped the run from scoring?
Just one moment, Nick. I'm conversing with our live chat. One of the perks of being a premium pass holder for this week's event. It's 1-2 now following that bouncer as that's popped up on the infield. It carries a bit, and the catch is made in shallow left. That is a nice play there on the move to make that catch. Now, Nick, my eyesight's clearly going. They don't have a number 50 on their roster. I saw 50. That is a 30.
Okay, yes.
That was Jake Van Thal.
Yes.
Man, my eyesight's going, Nick.
The
Not
sun.
good. Yes, it's the sun. That's right.
Of course, the sun.
It's the sun.
Just been too much of it this week.
Officially a P5 as that's fouled back. So Lafferty retired. Christopher Tancredi, the batter. He's behind 0-1.
You and I, of course, Joe, have a very busy week here, not only at Great Kills, but just in general here on PDF. A lot of events coming up on this network. And of course, for us here at Great Kills, after we'll have the semifinals tomorrow, the championship game on Friday. But for us on Friday, it's not the only thing we're covering here. This time is called.
Well, we have our championship game here on the baseball diamond early. Then the softball championship kicks off. Parade and a boatload of games.
I believe 5, right? Or
We
is
have
it
5 on Saturday, and I believe we have 5 on Friday as well. A
Yeah.
lot of games to be played. We'll be split up in 2 different locations. You and I will each take one location and then reconvene for the final game. As that one's also blooped. This time it stays on the infield, and it is caught over at shortstop by Napolitano.
I keep doing it, Joe. I keep going right to the outfield on those fly balls. I have to.
I told you, Nick.
I know.
Your first
I know.
switch always infield,
Infield, I
because you
know.
could always then switch again if the ball ends up in the outfield.
Just instinct for me. I gotta get that out of my head.
It's one of the drawbacks of going for the tighter view of both the infield and outfield. Last year, what we did, we were in center field, so we had a camera on the pitcher and batter, as we do once again, and then we had another camera that focused on the infield from the center field perspective. Brandon Block, big swing and a miss there. It's 1-1. But what we would do on a ball hit to the outfield is follow it with that second camera. This year we have a third camera, one specifically for the infield and one specifically for the outfield. If your first switch is always infield, you'll catch the ball traveling to the outfield anyway. That taken inside, 2-2.
Try to get some early experience. Of course, we have met, you and I have talked about it off the air. We're trying to do this at CSI as well, where we call our collegiate games here on Staten Island.
The difference is at CSI, we won't need to switch the camera mid-play very often, as that's fouled away. I think perspective matters a lot, too, from where those cameras are shooting. It's much easier if you have an operator behind an outfield camera. Then they'll just follow the ball. If you make a mistake, they'll still follow the ball in the infield, and you'll have a view. But they're more there for replays, as that's bounced back to the mound. played by Walsh. He throws the first in time, and that will do it for Port Washington in the third inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Christopher Walsh. We head to the home half of inning number 3. White Plains in front, 3-0.
Deli, we're glad to be your go-to pizzeria, serving you the best pies, signature sandwiches, and gourmet meals in Staten Island since 1971. Visit us at 5373 Arthur Kill Road to find out why we're the island's best for quick bites and full-sized catering. Whether in person or on location with our food truck making stops and bringing it all to you, Town Deli is where excellence in quality meets taste. Voted the island's best. Stop on in and let us serve you.
State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
Well, Staten Island University Hospital, we strive to address the diverse mental health needs for the community. Listen in for some great tips from the Chair of Behavioral Health, Dr. Rashi Agarwal, and Dr. Brahim Ardolik to support positive outcomes.
Home half of inning number 3 from Great Kills Little League in Game 11 of pool play. Just one more to go after this one. But it is this game that will decide the winner of the American pool. Early on, it is White Plains with a 3-0 lead, and they look to take that lead or perhaps a greater lead into the midway point of this one as they come to the plate here in the third.
And, you know, Joe, we made the joke that, you know, it's felt like a week since this tournament started, but just keep in mind, I mean, it's crazy to think that this is already the second to last game of pool play here at Great Kills, and then tomorrow we'll have our semifinal games, and then, of course, Championship Friday to see who moves on to the Metro Regional in Bristol, Connecticut.
Plenty more baseball to come, including a pair of semifinal matchups tomorrow, the championship, and, of course, one more game of pool play here today. Be sure to stay with us all the way through the end of the week here on the PDF Sports Network.
If last year's game of pool play was any indication to stay with us, definitely want to tune into that last game here today.
Absolutely. Kevin O'Flanagan back to the mound for the home third. His first pitch to Jack Delanoy in for a called strike. White Plains in this game with 4 hits, all in the last inning. As that's bounced toward the middle infield. Tough play at short. And making it look easy was Krifcher.
Krifcher did not show that was going to be a tough play, Joe. He made that one look easy on that one. What a play over at shortstop for the first out of the inning.
Very nicely done by the Port Washington shortstop.
We've been treated to some great defense as well here in these 3 days of pool play. These teams just showing out, showing why they are the best 8 teams in all of New York State.
Up to the plate steps Max Feldman. Feldman, the number 12 hitter behind him. It's back to the top of the order, and he takes ball 1. The 1-0. In for a strike. The 1-1. Bunted at and missed. 1-2 now.
And I think for us on Saturday here on PDF, I think is it going to go down maybe as the busiest day we've had on PDF since we started?
I think yes.
5 games at softball, and of course for you and I, the AL2 championship game in Waranenko that we'll be covering as well.
I don't think we've ever covered 6 events in a single day, so it will be a new record. And there's a called strike 3 to Feldman. He goes down looking for out number 2.
So a lengthy last inning for O'Flanagan, and now he gets the strikeout for the second out of the inning right here. Keep in mind, as we mentioned already, these two teams are already into the semifinals, so not the worst thing if you lose this game. But, you have to keep your head up, and I think it's really about, even if you lose this game, you have to say to yourselves, you know what? We lost this game today. We have to come right back at it tomorrow. And, of course, we win that game tomorrow. We're in the championship game on Friday.
So if you're Port Washington in this game now, obviously O'Flanagan's still in there. As that's hit out to left, and it bounces off the glove of the left fielder.
Yeah, it bounced on the field first, Joe, then hit him on the glove afterwards. It would have been a single either way.
Well, Lafferty was the starting left fielder. He is no longer in left. That is Brandon Kine in left. So they've reorganized the defense. Good thing I didn't use his name. And I love to give defenders their credit where it's due, but with the amount of changes and how quickly they happen,
it's tough to tell.
It can get tough out here sometimes. That pitch in for a strike. Jake Van Dahl at the plate here. That single off the bat of Jack Mayer. And now Van Dahl is behind, 0-2. The 0-2 is high off the glove of Block into the backstop. That allows Mayer to advance over to second. And I was about to ask, Nick, do you think the focus now shifts to getting as many pitches as you can from O'Flanagan? He's up over 50.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's hit pretty well out to center field, but ranging back to make the catch, falling to the grass, is William Kolb.
I got a second look at that, Joe, before we go to break.
Nice play by the Port Washington center fielder.
Here's the look before we head into commercial break. Huge play, because not only does it make the catch for final out, it prevents another run from scoring.
It sure did. It is a run-saving grab in center field by William Kolb. And we head to break. Our score, 3-0, White Plains over Port Washington.
Awards and Trophy Center is proud to sponsor this week's New York State Little League Championship. Located at 1600 Highland Boulevard on Staten Island, we pride ourselves in not only building trophies, but building relationships as we service our community and treat you like family. Your event and its achievements deserve the best. That's why Country Awards and Trophy Center is ready to work with all of our clients to make your event a memorable one, with awards, trophies, and gifts that make a lasting impression. Come see why we love our customers and they love us. Visit us today.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
And we're back from Great Kills as we begin the fourth inning in a 3-0 game. White Plains over Port Washington in a battle to determine the winner of the American Pool. Both teams have already punched their ticket to the semifinal. And thus far, if you're White Plains, you can't ask for much more. Christopher Walsh has kept his pitch count very low. He's thrown just 30. He is not allowed a run. And he heads back out to the mound with a 3-0 lead. Things going pretty well for the home team in this one.
He's working at a very great pace in this one, Joe. And if you're White Plains and he can go the full distance, that would be huge for you going into the final two games, potentially.
He has been very, very efficient to this point. He will face 12-1-2. Chavi Lago at the plate here. Fouled back the first pitch he saw. Strike one. So far in this game, a couple of base hits for Port Washington. Both came in the first inning. And don't forget, Nick, they had a chance to take the lead in that first inning. But Ban lost his footing around third. Whether or not he scored, not a certainty, but certainly had a chance. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
You hear that fastball from up here. Walsh is stealing right now so far.
comes the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Did that end up in the tree?
I didn't see where it went.
I think it landed in the tree. It didn't come down. I didn't see it come down anyway.
Okay.
1-2. And I think he got a piece. Ooh.
I thought he made peace too. I thought
I
I
heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it. I thought he got a piece, but perhaps not. It's a strikeout. One away in the inning. That strikeout, just the first of the game for Walsh. And now William Kolb, who made that nice catch in center field, comes to the plate.
Prevented a run from scoring with that catch.
0 for 1 with a ground out to second. And that's a sharp ground ball toward the middle, base hit. And Kolb is on with one out here in the fourth.
Third hit of the game right there for Port Washington. As you mentioned earlier on, it's their first hit since the first inning. So try to get back into the score column here. And now with one more base runner, they can bring the tie run to the plate.
Jonathan Bann, the batter. He doubled in his first at-bat, was ultimately stranded at third. And he looks at a strike. And there you see Kolb, who we know is an aggressive base runner. We've seen that already. That big secondary lead after the pitch arrives. Definitely commands some attention over there. He might try and swipe one on you if you're not paying attention. There's a called strike 2. Bann now in a 2-strike hole. One away here in the road, fourth inning. That's fouled back.
Well, Walsh have been averaging 10 pitches so far an inning. Coming into this one, he's about to reach his 10th pitch now. Pitch number 40 upcoming.
Pitch number 40 on its way. Foul back.
And we've seen at bats like this here in some of these games of pool play where the batter just keeps fouling off a couple pitches and then finally gets that one to hit at and makes good contact and get a base hit. Let's see if Bann can do it right here.
Another 0-2. Bounce softly down the line.
Foul.
Foul ball. Okay, I thought so. They played on as if it was fair, but
it was foul.
From our perspective, I'm not going to make a call on that until I see the man in black today make the call. Umpires have a wide array of colors, don't they?
Yeah.
I've seen the cream, red, blue, and now black. As that swung on and missed for strike 3. Second punch out of the game for Walsh, and there are 2 away.
Also wearing black in the sun today.
Wow, that's the tough part of the equation.
Bold. It's bold, but yeah, definitely tough part of the equation.
We needed these umpires to officiate the home run derby yesterday after some controversy.
Yeah, I forgot.
They took it away. They took it away.
I know. I forgot to watch it back yesterday because I really wanted to see. I know you showed me a freeze frame of it. I still wanted to watch it in real time to see how, where exactly it landed.
How short it actually was?
Right.
Drew Theo Harris at the plate. I had 1-0 here.
Thankfully, they justified it afterwards.
Ground ball hit very softly over to first. Easy play there for Breeze. He steps on the bag, and the side is retired. Port Washington strands 1, still without a run. We head to the home fourth. White Plains in front, 3-0.
NYS Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
To sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
First pitch in the home fourth inning is down low, ball one.
Joe's gotten a couple of questions in our Boxcast chat so far here in this game. Yeah, show some more questions as the day goes along, going into semifinals as well as the championship game here this week.
Well, when we came up with the idea of trying to raise some extra money for the Little League and for us here at PDF, we wanted to try and find a way to do it that would be worthwhile. And last year, you and I interacted quite a bit with the live chat. And going back and watching those games on demand ourselves, we were bombarded with YouTube ads. So we thought, you know, I think $1 a day was fair, and both Great Kills and PDF will benefit from those who purchase the premium pass, as that's grounded through the right side for a base hit. Nick Napolitano on to lead off the home fourth for White Plains.
Good start to the inning right there for White Plains. They try to increase their lead. Got that one just past the diving second baseman and into right field for the leadoff single.
At the plate now, Leo Carroll. And Carroll takes a strike. And Nick, one final point I'd like to make. The big difference between YouTube and Boxcast is that on Boxcast, you are allowed to upload replacement videos. So what we've been doing, these broadcasts are all recorded to the central broadcasting computer. What we can do is then go onto Boxcast and upload that clean recording without any of the unwanted glitching or live stream hiccups that sometimes occur when you're streaming over the internet.
Right.
It's as if you're watching the game offline when you view it on demand via Boxcast. YouTube does not allow you to upload over an existing stream, which means that any hiccups that are experienced as a result of faulty internet, audio, etc., those can't be removed on YouTube unless you cut out the entire broadcast segment completely. So there are advantages to streaming on Boxcast. That's one of them, and that is the best copy of the game on demand that you're going to get. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Leo Carroll. And that goes to the backstop. Napolitano had to think about it. They throw to second, but they had no chance to get him.
Even the slight hesitation, he still got a good jump on that one.
Yeah, I think Brandon Block believed there was no chance he had a play.
No.
And he was right. Count now 2-2 on Carroll. He singled and scored his first time, and he's run it full.
65 pitches now for O'Flanagan.
The payoff? Outside, ball 4.
And Joe, that might be it for him.
That's the first walk that he's issued in this game.
I think it is going to be all for O'Flanagan in this game.
Either way, he's done for the tournament. And he is also done in this game. Not a bad outing for him.
Yeah.
The one bad inning is what really got to him. That came in the second, and the inning began with 3 straight hits. After that, he struck out consecutive hitters before allowing the big blow, a 2 RBI double by Max Goldberg. He's responsible for the 2 runners on base, and a new pitcher will come on for Port Washington. We'll let you know who it is once we come back.
Staten Island Academy is the only pre-K through 12 independent school on Staten Island. And it really is designed for students to go through the entire educational experience in one setting.
What the Academy seeks to do is take every student to accelerate their gifts and their strengths and to find those gifts and strengths that are yet unknown.
I think the community is something that you can't match anywhere else. It just makes you feel comfortable doing what you like to do every single day.
This tournament would not be possible without the great support of the Staten Island Advance. Not only does the Staten Island Advance have full coverage of the tournament, but we are committed to covering Island youth sports year-round and all news close to home. Pick up the paper today and look for great subscriber deals now for our loyal readership. Visit us online at silive.com for news and photos of this week's tournament and all the breaking news on Staten Island, the nation, and the world. The news of Staten Island is the Staten Island Advance and silive.com.
Home fourth inning underway from great kills. 2 on, nobody out for White Plains. And Port Washington has gone to the bullpen for the first time in this game. And Nick, we thought we might see quite a few pitchers used. Instead, it looks like the approach has been the exact opposite in this game for these two teams. Chavi Lago, just the third pitcher used between the two teams overall. Up until this moment in the game, both starters were still in. It is the end of the line for Kevin O'Flanagan. The 2 runners on base, his responsibility. And Fraylin Cruz with an extra base hit here could break this game open for White Plains.
Port Washington telling their outfielders to move back. Cruz has that power.
And Cruz takes high for ball 1.
But yeah, for us with the strategy, this is why we're up here and the coaches are in the dugouts.
Pitch down and away, 2-0. I think if you're a manager, you know who you plan to use in the semifinal and the final before the week begins. And I think you manage to that along the way, as that's off the ankle of Cruz. Foul ball, count 2-1. So if you know who you're going to use, then you know that in this game, you have everyone else available. So I'd presume that by pushing O'Flanagan to the pitch total that they did, they knew that in all likelihood they didn't intend to use him in the semis or in the championship game, as Cruz bounces that one foul. Nick Napolitano was great in his outing for White Plains. That open pool play on Sunday. And again, Cruz fouls one off his ankle.
Might have been the exact same spot.
Leo Carroll was also pretty good himself in his outing. That came on Monday. Count even at 2-2 on Cruz. And that bounces in for ball 3. The 3-2. Foul back.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat of coming here.
3-2 the count on Fraylin Cruz. 2 on, still nobody out. And that's bounced down the line, base hit. And it rolls all the way into the right field corner. Throw finally comes into the cutoff. It bounced away, but Krifcher was able to secure it, holding Cruz at second. It's a 2 RBI double for the White Plains extra hitter.
Cruz, as I mentioned earlier on, Joe, in this game, he had a single his first time up. I said he's been making great contact all tournament long, and he does it once again right there. 2-run double extends this White Plains lead now to 5.
White Plains looking to set a tournament high in runs for them. They've now matched their total from Monday's game as that gets away. Cruz to third, awkwardly slid. And he may have come off the base, Nick.
Not only that, I think his cleat might have hit the third baseman on the way there.
Did they call him out?
No, I thought they called him safe.
Yeah, they called him out, Nick. He came off the base. He came off the base. And he very nearly hurt himself sliding as well.
Well, also, as I mentioned, let's hope the third baseman's okay. I thought his cleat hit him on the way to third.
So officially, Cruz is caught stealing, and sliding on turf can be tough.
Here's a look at it.
His arm contorted in a very odd fashion there.
And we talked about this in our last game, Joe. You don't want to see an injury this late in the tournament, especially for these two teams, considering the fact that they're both already into the semifinals. You don't want to have an injury this late.
Yeah, I think definitely exercise some discretion the rest of the way. If you're either side, I think in a 5-run ball game now, Port Washington down to their final 6 outs. There's no reason to take any unnecessary risks out there, as Liam Sulivera was retired on the bouncer. 2 away. Johnny Breeze will be the batter here. And Breeze looks at a strike, 0-1. Breeze struck out swinging his first time up. There's a chopper toward the middle. Wicked hop on Krifcher, and his throw is just in time.
And hopefully Breeze is now okay, Joe. He took a stumble after stepping on that first base bag.
Well, these players know nothing other than running hard and sliding into bases. You like to see it, but perhaps you dial it back for just a couple of innings the rest of the way in this one. We head to the fifth. Our score, White Plains 5, Port Washington 0.
Deli, we're glad to be your go-to pizzeria, serving you the best pies, signature sandwiches, and gourmet meals in Staten Island since 1971. Visit us at 5373 Arthur Kill Road to find out why we're the island's best for quick bites and full-sized catering. Whether in person or on location with our food truck making stops and bringing it all to you, Town Deli is where excellence in quality meets taste. Voted the island's best. Stop on in and let us serve you.
Well, Staten Island University Hospital, we strive to address the diverse mental health needs for the community. Listen in for some great tips from the Chair of Behavioral Health, Dr. Rashi Agarwal, and Dr. Brahim Ardolik to support positive outcomes.
And we are back for the fifth inning from Great Kills Little League. White Plains with a 5-run lead over Port Washington, looking to secure the top spot in the American pool, and a matchup with St. James Smithtown Little League tomorrow at 9 a.m. And the 0-1 pitch to Jack Stone, bounced to third, low throw, and unable to scoop it over at first was Breeze. It was a low throw, so that'll probably be an E5.
Well, if you're Port, Joe, they're hoping that this could be the start of some rally where they can get on the board.
And for Port Washington, that is just their second base runner since the first inning. They had a one-out single in the fourth, and that's it, as that's lined off of Walsh, and they go to second for the out. A good heads-up play over at third by Van Thal, and very quickly he redeems himself after the low throw.
That's just a heads-up play, as you mentioned it, Joe. He went right to the quick base at second and just got the runner out by a step.
And that's a really good heads-up play. Once that ball hit off the pitcher, I did not think they had an out anywhere. But the runner at first has to hold up in case that's caught on the mound. And Krifcher will now stand over at first. He replaces Stone. Stone out 5-4. And now Tyler Pierce will be the batter. Pierce 0 for 1, flew out to left his first time. And there's a line drive off the glove of the diving shortstop Napolitano. And they've hit the ball hard a couple of times now, Nick. No play once again for White Plains. It's an infield base hit for Tyler Pierce. And now Port Washington has 2 on with 1 out.
Well, they're finally starting to make some good contact, which is a good thing for them this inning, Joe. Now, can they get some runs on the board and make things interesting?
Walsh, to this point, had been cruising. First inning, he ran into some trouble. A 1-out double and then a single. But after that, he had allowed just the one base runner entering this inning. Pitch taken out of the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. In for a strike, and Krifcher thought about it. but will retreat back to second. One and two the count. This is Brandon Kine at the plate now. And he hits one toward the right side, hits slowly. And going to first with it just in time was Feldman. 2 away.
Another one where they just got him by a step. Looked like Kine had a chance to reach first base. They just got him out.
Number 17.
This is Kevin O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan charged with all 5 runs in this game as he takes a strike. The 0-1. Fouled off. Walsh looking to keep the shutout intact here. He has an 0-2 count, 2 outs, and 2 in scoring position here in the road 5th inning. Port Washington looking to chip away with a big 2-out hit. And O'Flanagan fouls off another.
That's pitch number 56 right there.
The 0-2, fouled off. The 0-2, again fouled off. Good battle here between O'Flanagan and Walsh. It's remarkable to think, Nick, he still has 27 more pitches before reaching the 85 pitch limit.
Yeah.
With 2 outs here in the 5th.
Got 4 outs to play with.
And Walsh wins the battle. He strikes out O'Flanagan swinging. In the process, he strands 2 in scoring position and keeps Port Washington off of the scoreboard. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. White Plains leads it 5-0.
State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
White Plains coming to the plate here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, looking for some insurance. Their lead over Port Washington 5-0 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 5. White Plains, should they hold on and win this game, moves on to a matchup with St. James Smithtown tomorrow at 9 a.m. That would send Port Washington to a matchup with South Shore. That game scheduled for an 11:30 a.m. start.
And Joe, we just saw during commercial break, one of our proud sponsors, the Staten Island Ferry Hawks, who these 8 teams yesterday got to partake in a game yesterday and also be acknowledged by the Ferry Hawks for what they've done so far this year and all their hard work to get to this tournament this week.
We've had a lot of good times at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park.
Nice, good job.
One of my favorite stories was when I showed up for CSI night there, College of Staten Island hosting an event, and I gave my name at the box office, and they didn't have it. which was odd. So I told them I was with CSI, and they handed me tickets. Didn't think much of it. I go in and realize that my tickets were in an all-you-can-eat suite.
Very nice.
A very nice setup. White Plains at the plate. 8, 9, and 10 due up. Nico Sucherbina, Max Goldberg, and Christopher Walsh.
We'll have to make our way back there one day.
Xavi Lago remains on the mound for Port Washington. Came on in relief during the 4th inning. His 0-2 pitch taken up and away, ball 1. But Nick calling games in the press box at SIUH Community Park is really coming full circle for me in a big way. And I'll talk more after this pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Sucherbina goes down, but I grew up watching the Staten Island Yankees religiously from about 1998, 1999 through maybe 2002, 2003. I remember going to the College of Staten Island for games. I remember going to the then Richmond County Bank Ballpark at St. George for games. And now I'm calling games in the press box of both facilities. As that's blooped on the infield, sliding grab by Jonathan Bann, who's now at second base, and Max Goldberg is retired.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, you know, calling those games in the press box, and, you know, for me as a Yankee fan, obviously, getting to watch some of the guys that will become, you know, great ball players for the Yankees, guys like Brett Gardner, Robinson Cano, Chiming Wong, to name a few. Just getting to watch them, their career at that ballpark is something else. And for these kids, I mean, you never know who they're going to see move on to the major leagues.
You never know which, if any, of these most likely South Shore players could end up at the College of Staten Island.
That's true.
Call this event long enough, and eventually down the line, we'll be calling their games at CSI as well.
Right.
That pitch taken outside. 1-1 on Christopher Walsh. He really has pitched a great ball game thus far.
59,
That's 3.
59 pitches, Joe. He's certainly going to get a chance in the next half inning.
That's 3 excellent starts for White Plains starting pitchers. Now, I don't believe they pushed Carroll as far, if memory serves, because they didn't want him to be out.
His pitch count in that game. I think he went 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he came out. He definitely did not enter the 5th, I can tell you that. And it wasn't because he wasn't pitching well. It's because they wanted to make sure they kept him available for the semis and for a potential championship game. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3 by Walsh. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Xavi Lago. Last chance for Port Washington. When we come back, they trail 5-0.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the
NYS Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
To sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
And we're back from Great Kills Little League, where I couldn't help but notice in the YouTube live chat a mention of Wagner College. And of course, many of these players, especially the South Shore athletes, could potentially end up there as well. The difference is, Nick and I don't call their games. However, a PDF colleague of ours, Nick Durst, has called a couple of their games at SIUH Community Park, so we have that connection there. Also, I believe he's on the administrative panel here at Great Kills in some capacity. Our good friend, they call him Joe Messia here. I've never once called him that in my life. I've always called him Joe Masha, but he currently is employed at Wagner College in their athletics department. So we have Wagner connections as well. Unfortunately, they haven't put us on the headset yet, so maybe one day. First pitch in the 6th inning. from Christopher Walsh in for a strike to Jack Lafferty. Lafferty popped out on the infield in his first at bat, 0 for 1. This pitch, number 61 for Walsh, and it's fouled away.
Mentioned Nick Durst. We might be hearing from him at some point during the softball tournament as well.
He's joining us for the championship on Friday.
He is joining for the champion.
He
All
is.
right. Very good to hear that.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And Lafferty goes down for out number 1.
Number 11, Chris Tancredi.
Chris Tancredi, the batter.
Be the first of many broadcasts us three have here in 2025 going into 2026.
First pitch, hit in the air on the infield. Breeze makes the call and the catch. 2 gone.
And Joe, again, you got to look towards the scoreboard. He's just had 63 pitches, excuse me, with 2 gone here in the 6th. 1 out away from the CGSO.
A golden arm indeed. He competed yesterday.
He did. I'll check quickly how many points he got. I know he got some points in that contest. Memory serves me right.
If I recall, he made those throws look effortless. Didn't really step much into it, just delivered it all arm.
He had 6.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
He was one of 2 players with 6. He and Jack Lafferty, and they didn't end up winning the competition at all.
They did not win.
They could not get 1 point at the end.
There's a knee-high strike, 2-1 the count on Brandon Block.
But I'm sure Walsh has that in the back of his mind right now with the way he's been pitching in this game.
2-1. Swung on and missed, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that's just been it. I mean, you've seen some of the pitches. It's not like Port Washington hasn't made contact with a lot of their plays. It's been kind of soft contact to where White Plains just has had no problems so far in the field.
That's fouled off. As Port Washington now is down to their final strike. And Nick, if you're Port Washington, is it concerning at all? The struggles in this game offensively, no runs after scoring 10 last time out?
I'll make that point in a second after this pitch.
It's a bouncer, right side. Easy play for Feldman, who flips on to first, and that will do it. White Plains Little League has won the American Pool in the 2025 New York State Little League Baseball Championship. They move on to a 9 a.m. matchup tomorrow morning against St. James Smithtown Little League. And back to my question, Nick, for Port Washington, they failed to score a run against a White Plains pitching staff that has been phenomenal. Just 1 run allowed in pool play. Should they be concerned, or do they put this game behind them and look at it as a game they didn't have to have? What do you think?
I think it's a mix of both, Joe, because this White Plains staff has done it all so far in 3 games, so you can't really beat yourself up about that. The big concern I have is this. So in Game 1, we saw Port Washington's offense struggle. They did end up winning that game. Now, however, in Game 2, their offense also was struggling for the halfway point through that game. They had that late spurt that got them the win in that game, and they're very grateful because after 3 or 4 innings, I believe, they could not score a run. So it's a weird feeling to say if you're Port Washington right now. You've had those offensive flashes, but you've also had some struggles at the plate as well. And now you go into tomorrow trying to figure out what can you do against a South Shore team, Joe, that's also been pitching at a phenomenal rate too.
Yeah, that's the big question, Nick. Can they get enough offense against a South Shore team that, just like White Plains, has pitched very well? And can they recapture some of that magic that they exemplified during that comeback a couple of days ago, because that was something truly special in that game that we saw against Saugerties, and they're going to need more of that if they want to clinch a berth in the championship game. However, they get their opportunity tomorrow at 11:30. It will be White Plains taking the field at 9 a.m. against St. James Smithtown Little League. They finish pool play 3-0. They are your winners of the American Pool. Our next game, coming up next, will not have implications in terms of our semifinal matchups. However, you know both teams looking for their first win still are going to go out there and give us everything they have as Union Endicott takes on Saugerties coming up next here on the PDF Sports Network. That being said, that game is over an hour away, so plenty of time before we come back on the air for that. Until then, my name is Joe Foreman. On the call alongside me, my color commentary partner and engineer Nicholas Pavona. Once again, our final score, White Plains 5 and Port Washington 0. Our final game of pool play between Union Endicott and Saugerties coming up next right here on the PDF Sports Network.